Hello, hi guys. Good evening and welcome to our weekly Lunch Actually webinar. How are you guys? How are you feeling today? Wow, I see so many familiar faces here, so many familiar names. How have you been? This week has seems like a really long week to me. I was like, when is Thursday going to come? I'm like, it seems like it's still not Thursday yet, and I can't wait to see all of you guys. Oh, so sweet. Deborah says Happy Mid Autumn Festival. Yeah, so 中秋节快乐, Happy Mid Autumn Festival to all of you. And so thankful that all of you came to join us tonight, despite it being like Mid Autumn Festival, right? So have you had your moon cakes? Okay, so just very very happy to be here with you today. So maybe you can type in the chat box right now to let us know how are you feeling and where are you from. Yeah, so Deborah say the moon is really pretty. Joseph say happy mid autumn and enjoy your moon cakes. And Deborah is very sweet. She say remember to drink more water because moon cake is very heaty. You're right. I tell you the truth. I've only eaten like maybe 1/8 of a moon cake so far this year. Yeah. Some Sunny say oh it's really wet because it's raining non-stop. Yongsen say I'm from Singapore. Hat say I had my moon cake yesterday. Awesome. Okay, so I think it has been a while since I last asked you guys this question, but I want to launch a poll right now to find out very quickly, is this the first time you're joining the Lunch Actually webinar? Okay, so launching it right now. Let us know. Okay, so I know, like I said just now, there are some familiar names, so I know you have been joining our webinars, quite a few times, but we just want to see like how many of you here are new and you're joining us for the first time. Okay, so while you guys are putting in your answers, I'm just going to say hi. And we have Yongsen who say yes, first time here. And Dora say first time here. Rivian say I'm Rivian from Indonesia. Welcome, welcome Rivian from Indonesia. Yes. Winston. Okay, yeah. Hi, Winston. Yes, so it's quite interesting. About 60% of you all have voted so far, and okay, I'm just going to give you a couple of seconds before I close it. Okay, and it's interesting. So we have quite a number of newcomers who have joined us this time. So about 24%. Okay, so about a quarter of our participants tonight are actually new. Welcome, welcome. So how did you actually hear about our webinar? Yeah, did you see it on like one of our IG posts, Facebook posts, or how do you actually know about us? Or was it your friend who actually introduced our webinar to you? And then we have 19% who say, no, I joined in last week as well. So my second time here. Okay, awesome. So I guess those of you who joined us last week, you would understand Mandarin because last week was very, very interesting. Like it was the first time that I actually did a webinar in Mandarin. So I had the honor and privilege to interview Kate Pang, who is actually a celebrity here in Singapore, where she was very honest and she shared very deeply about her relationship journey, her dating journey. So those of you guys who might have missed out on that, you might want to get a recording of it. So actually all the recordings of our webinar is on our website at lunchhd.com/webinar. So you can go check it out. And we have 28% who say, I've been attending up to 5 of your webinars before, and followed by 26% who said, I'm a fan. I've attended about 10 of your webinars. Wow, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And 5%, this 5%, we really, really treasure you guys. I might have attended almost all of your 20 plus webinar. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so for our newcomers, like the 24% who say that this is your first time that you're joining us, a very, very warm welcome to you. Our webinar is probably maybe different from most of the other webinars that you have signed up so far because it's designed to be very interactive. So we are going to constantly be having, like conversations with you. We'll be asking you questions. We'll be launching posts like what I've just do just now. So don't be shy, please feel free to take part because like I say, the whole idea is we really want to be engaging with you. We don't want to be one of those webinars where you kind of just sit there, like look at the screen, do nothing, because at the end of the day, you have had a long day at work. We also want to engage you. We want you to have fun as well. Okay, so with that, I just want to do a very quick introduction of myself. So I saw that we do have some newcomers who say, oh, so how do I address you? Okay, so my name is Violet. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Lunch Actually, or sometimes I'm also known as Chief Cupid. Okay, so I was actually working in a bank where I saw that a lot of my colleagues were single and not dating. And I thought like, wow, you know, so how can I actually help them? So that was why about 16 years ago, I decided to quit my job at the bank and started Lunch Actually together with my then boyfriend, now husband. And so over the 16 years, you know, like we have expanded to many different locations. So we are, of course, here in Singapore. We are also in Malaysia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, and Thailand. So do we have friends who's from other countries other than Singapore? And I think Indonesia. Do we have anybody from Malaysia tonight? Or anybody from Thailand or from Hong Kong? Yes, let us know in the chat right now. Yeah. So Danielle say Malaysia. Yeah. Anybody else? Has say Malaysia. Okay. Any friends from Hong Kong or Thailand tonight? You know, let us know. We want to say hi to you guys. Susie say Malaysia. Hajono say Jakarta. Awesome. And Anne say Vietnam, but working in Singapore. Awesome. Jason from Malaysia. So it's always very, very fun to have, you know, all the different nationalities join us here. So we have a lot of different dating products, but I think most importantly is really about our dating philosophy, because at the end of the day, we believe in not just about helping people meet on the various platforms, because I think there are a lot of different apps, you know, that do that. But ultimately, our focus is really wanting to help singles to find the right one. And we believe that finding the right one is not just about meeting, you know, on platforms, you know, like more importantly, it's really about being the right one, meeting the right one, and choosing the right one. And that's the reason why we have been holding this series of webinars where, you know, like we want to share more skill sets, more mindset, and really help our singles to, I would say, up your game to become the best version of yourself, because we believe by doing that, that's definitely would increase our chances of finding the right one. Okay, so we have prepared a special webinar gift for you, so do remember to stay till the end. And you can also subscribe or follow us on IG and Facebook to get the latest updates on our webinar. So our IG and Facebook, the handle is at Lunch Actually, and of course you can follow me as well on IG, so that's at Violet Lim. So that's where where I share a bit more about what I do, and also sometimes I do answer dating and relationship questions as well. So hope to see you there. So for tonight's topic, we have invited some special guests to share with us on the different DISC types of personalities and how it affects dating and attraction. Okay, so I'm sure you already know this is the topic, because when you signed up, it was very clearly stated there. But I want to hear from you guys, how many of you have actually done the DISC personality test before? Okay, so let me just put out the poll, and then you can let us know. Okay, so how many of you here have actually heard of DISC? Okay, or like maybe, you know, like this is really your first time hearing about it, like when you saw our you know, IG post or Facebook post, or you saw it in the email that we sent you guys. Okay, so yes, the answers are coming in. So let's see what our participants are saying. Okay, yes, come on. We want to have more participants to take part in this. More than 60% have voted. So you have not voted, now is the time to do so. Okay, I'm just going to open it for a bit more, and then I'll share with you the answers. Okay, I'm going to end the poll right now. Okay, so about 45% say, yes, I've heard of and done the DISC test before. Awesome. Okay, because then you guys can share your answer with us next. And 16% say, yes, I've heard of DISC, but have not done the test yet. And we have quite a number of you, 39%, you know, close to 40% who say, no, I've not heard of this before. Okay, so you are at the right place, because tonight our two special guests, they will be sharing with you in detail what this is all about. And more importantly, it's about really how DISC can, you know, like help with our dating and when it comes to attraction. I have to say that I'm a big believer of DISC. So, you know, that's why I'm so excited to bring on our special guest tonight, because I believe that out of the many personality tests out there, I feel that DISC is definitely one of the most accurate ones. And in fact, we use it when it comes to work as well. So like when we are hiring, when we are working with our matchmakers with our Cupids and Transformers. In fact, I actually use DISC when it comes to hiring. Like we kind of have a very clear idea of which DISC profile would make good matchmakers. Okay, so of course, you know, like the next poll, what we want to hear from you is like, what is your highest DISC personality trait? So I think some of you have said just now that you have done it before. Okay, so just put in based on what you remember. Okay, so if you have done the DISC personality test before, right? So what is your dominant DISC trait? So just not to get confused. I mean, one of the DISC trait is dominance, but you know, like what is yours? Like, do you remember? Yes, okay. So like going to give you guys a bit of time to share your answers. Okay, so I mean, those that have not done before, okay, so of course you can just click I've not done before, and then some of you who have done it, but you don't remember, yes, that's also fine. But those of you who remember, yes, let us know. So more than 55% have voted, yes, so please vote right now to let us know what your results are, and we can also share with all the participants in the room, like, you know, most of our participants, what their dominant DISC personality trait is. Okay, so I'm just going to end the poll right now. Interesting. Okay, so of course, you know, like we have 47% who say that I've not done the test before. Not to worry, like you can definitely check it out after this. And 15% of you guys say I can't remember. Okay, that's fine as well. But for those of you who remember, what we are seeing here is interesting. So the highest one goes to drum roll. Okay, or maybe I let you all guess which one do you think, like, you know, the ones our participants in the room, right? Those who have done it before, like which one do you think would be the highest? Come, I let you all guess. Okay, so Gordon says D, Sue says S, Joanne say D, Jia Hao say I, Hajono say D, Andorra say D, KH say C, Jason says I, Melissa say S. Okay, interesting. So it seems that there's no common answer because it's like it's just so many different ones coming in. But I start to see like there's one that is coming up more often than the others. Not bad. So those of you guys who guessed that, you're actually right. So the highest one, even though it didn't win by a lot, okay, it won by 3%. The highest one is actually S, okay? So 13% of the participants in the room say that they did the test, and then their highest is S. But it's followed very, very closely by D and C, which is at 10%. And interestingly, the lowest one is actually I, which is at 6%. So maybe later, you know, both our experts, they can share with us, like, do our participants reflect the normal distribution curve in Singapore? So I'm not the expert, so I don't know. So they will share with you. Okay, so maybe you guys can guess, you know, like, what do you think is my dominant personality trait? Okay, especially maybe those of you who have joined us for like 20 webinars so far. So what do you think is my dominant personality trait? Okay, so let's see what do you guys say. Okay, so that's interesting. We have Debbie who say S, MZ who say I, Sue who say C, Melissa say I with exclamation mark. You know, she's very sure. Priska say DC question mark. Susie say D. Grace say I. Joanne say C. Gordon say S. Natalie say S. Vivian say I. Shirley say IS. Interesting. B say I, and Giselle say I. Okay, unfortunately, nobody got the right answer. So the right answer is I'm actually high D and high I. So sometimes my I would be slightly higher than my D. Sometimes my D is slightly higher than my I, but generally both of it is very, very close. Okay, so awesome. Like, I think now we are all warmed up, and of course can't wait to welcome on our speakers for tonight, right? Okay, so yeah, I can't wait to like hear from them as well, right? So I told you I'm a big fan of DISC. So tonight we have two special guests. We have Melvin Chia. He's actually a certified master behavioral consultant of this DISC, and Michelle Tan, who is also a certified DISC practitioner. And both of them will be explaining to us in depth about what it is and how we can use DISC to our advantage when it comes to dating, and what types of personalities are a better fit for each other than others. Okay, I will definitely be listening because my husband, right, his DISC profile is very different from mine. So I want to see, you know, like based on DISC attraction, are we actually the right fit? And Melvin, you know, he has actually helped many organizations when it comes to strategies, process, bringing people together. I mean, on the organization side, like, you know, through the science of DISC. And one thing I found out very recently, Melvin and I actually went to the same university. Yay! So both of us actually went to University of Manchester. So super awesome. Okay, so with that, please give our lunch actually welcome to both of our special guests tonight, Melvin and Michelle. Yeah, so right in the chat right now, welcome them. You know, it's like you guys are always super and two, right? So yes, Joanne say woo. Okay, so you know, Priska say welcome. Yes, so give them the big welcome. And right now, I'd like to pass the floor to Melvin. Melvin, please, you know, like give us an introduction, tell us a bit more about who you are and how you actually end up doing what you are doing today. So over to you, Melvin.
Thank you very much, Violet. So, well, I'm very, very happy with your very warm and very kind welcome. So anyway, my name is Melvin. So I've been doing this for more than 15 years. I think it's about 17 this year. So this DISC is a very interesting thing. I mean, the nature of the work that I do is really about people. It's about doing how then can we unlock potential? How then can we actually help people to know who they are? I think, you know, we all know the Sun Tzu was saying, you know, 知己知彼，百战百胜. If you know yourself, you know your enemy, you are able to win every battle with all those things. But the fact of the matter is this, all of us have this innate one or desire to say, hey, I want to know a lot of people. So today we're going to share with you in terms of what DISC is about. And above that, I'm going to teach you how to read people. Wow, that'll be very cool, right? So imagine you go for a dating kind of thing. They're going to say, oh, okay, is this person D, I, S, or C? So I'm going to give you some tips on how to go about doing that. All right. So before I continue, so as what Violet shared, I've actually worked with corporations to talk to them about DISC. And really, at the end of the day, many of them always come back to ask this question: how do I work with people? How do I love people? All right. So having said that, I also have been invited by 938, 95, 958 to go on air to share about organizational leadership and people development. And as well as I'm a father of two, husband of one only, one. Okay. So, all right. So today, the whole session will be divided in such a way that Michelle, my colleague, will be sharing with you the characteristics of DISC, so as to give you an overview, help you understand what DISC is about. Then when I come over in the second part, I will be sharing you in terms of application, what you do to get the person. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so I'm going to pass the time over to Michelle now. So Michelle, over to you.
Hi, everybody. To start off our sharing today on the topic, dating and attraction with DISC, I would like to share this little real story. One of my university friends is a gentle, very good natured, and even tempered girl. Her first boyfriend was a PhD holder. Just before their marriage, this boyfriend dumped her. His reason? He felt that she had no opinion of her own. He needed somebody who can debate with him intellectually and challenge him. He wanted someone who had her independent thinking and opinion. Of course, my friend was very sad, right? But soon after the breakup, my friend met another guy. And this time, it's a diploma holder who just loved her gentleness and her submissive nature. They got married shortly and remain happily married till now. Her husband even does all the housework and chores and cooks for the family, even though he is the head and the man of the household. So what do you think are the key contributions to a healthy, lasting relationship? Is it personality compatibility or is it personal capability? Today, we are going to have an interesting time to discover the different personality style and how we can build lasting, healthy relationships with better awareness of the 4 DISC style. What is DISC? Looking at the slides, we are all like this iceberg. What is shown above the water is just the 10% of our actions and behavior. This is a tool that measures this 10% actions and behavior. A big chunk of the iceberg, which represents the 90% of our values, beliefs, and character, is hidden underneath the water. Most of our actions are dictated by our character, values, and beliefs. So DISC gives us an insight into the 90% that is hidden. Being able to understand our actions and behavior is a good start to understanding ourselves and understanding others. DISC. What is DISC? Before we move on to what is DISC, we will look at what DISC is not. DISC, as you look at the slides, is not intelligent, it is not education, it is not training, it is not value, it is not skill, neither is it experience. So what is DISC? It is an observable, neutral, universal, silent language. DISC is a universal language of our behaviors and our emotions. What does each DISC dimension measure? Okay, we see the D. D measure how a person solves problems and respond to challenges. Just now Violet shared that she has a high D, right? She's a high D, right? Yeah. So it measures how a person solves problems and respond to challenges. I measures how a person tries to influence or persuade others. Again, Violet mentioned she is a high S, right? So S measures the pace that the person responds to changes, right? And just now the poll shows that many of us are S star. C measures how a person responds to rules and regulations. I guess many of us are also C star. Now we need to take note that no one style is better or worse, right or wrong. All styles have strengths and area for development or improvement. An individual is not boxed into one style. All individuals will have a combination of all styles. Let me now give you an overview of the 4 DISC personality or behavioral styles. D style represent dominant. D style is very task-oriented. Violet, is that correct? And D style like to take
I think
on active
maybe
roles.
that one we can ask Christina later. Yeah, she can tell you whether it's correct.
Oh, okay. Yes, right. And these are like to ask what question? What is in this for me? What is the bottom line? All right. So in the dating environment, a D-style man knows what he wants. When he sees a girl he likes, he takes the initiative to pursue. He's aggressive, proactive, and is a risk taker. He is the decision maker, and he likes to be in control of the dating process. In a date, these star men will decide what to eat, where to go, what to date, what to do, and so on. Likewise, these star ladies has the bonus to take initiative, to call or date the man she likes, and even profess her love for her man, or propose to him, sorry. This is for the D star lady. Okay, next, we have the I star, which represent influence. I star is highly people-oriented and like to take on active roles. I style like to ask who question. Who will be in the meeting with me? Who will be in this project with me? An I-style person is a friend to everyone. He or she is a live wire in the party. I-style people are easily identified by their outfits, which are usually out, colorful, and grab attention. I-style people take the initiative to connect to big groups of people, and they are very comfortable with one to many interaction. In the dates, an I-style chats freely, easily, and builds rapport readily. Let me share a dating scenario with you. When a task-oriented D-style man is dating a people-oriented I-style lady, the man will do a lot of things for her. He will arrange the date, drive her everywhere, carry things for her, book the holiday tours, and so on. Yet, at the end of the day, the people I-style lady asks, how come you never tell me you love me? The task-oriented D-style man replied, I thought you know I love you. Otherwise, why would I do all these things for you? So we can see the people-oriented I-style lady just want to hear the very three important words. I love you from the man. Next, we have the S-style, which represents steadiness. S-style is also people-oriented, likes to take on passive roles, likes to ask how question. How are we going to do this? How does this impact us? S-style like one-to-one relationships and communication. As a friend, as a date, as a spouse, S-style is a very good listener, patient, empathetic, and understanding. S-style is reliable and dependable. In a relationship and marriage, S-style person needs assurance of security. Then we have the C-style, which represents compliance. C-style is very task-oriented, likes to take on passive roles, like to ask why question. Why does this look this way? Why is this step necessary? In a dating situation, C-style people will want to find out as much detailed information on their dates, such as what they like to eat, where they like to go, what they like to do, and so on. C-style person will analyze the pros and the cons of a relationship. He or she takes a very cautious view of entering into a relationship or marriage. Now, if C and S-style persons are dating each other, guess what will happen? They will likely wait for the other party to profess their love or to propose marriage, as both prefer passive roles. Let me share another dating scenario with you. After a dinner together in a boy's friend's place, people-oriented S-style want to sit down with the task-oriented C-style girlfriend to connect and to communicate as soulmates. But the ladies, the girlfriend, start to wash the dishes, tidy up the room, and so on. Then the guy wonder, why is my girlfriend not interested to talk to me or communicate with me? And the lady is just more keen to get the things done, get tasks done before she can relax. So you see, the task-oriented C-style ways of showing love for her loved one is to do things for him. And C-style receive love from others through the things done for her. Whereas the people-oriented S-style show love by the things he or she say. And S-style receive love through the time spent together. These are all the love languages of people who are task-oriented and people-oriented.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one more final point I would like to present. Sorry. Having heard the above dating stories and scenarios, we know why it's so important for us to understand personality styles. It helps us, one, communicate better, two, build rapport, and connect effectively with the other people. 3, it helps us build intimacy and trust. It helps us resolve conflicts or even prevent conflicts. It helps us appreciate differences in the other people who are different from us. It helps us also gain credibility and influence when we learn to adapt to other styles. Melvin will share on the next statement. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Okay, guys, so what do you all think so far, especially those of you who have never heard about DISC or like maybe have never done the test before? So I also saw that some of you asked the question, you know, can I get the slides after the session? Yes, you know, you can get the slides after the session. I think Christina will be sharing with you guys more on that. And then we have Deborah say, super interesting. Vincent say, wow, great, awesome. So what are some of the key takeaways that you all have gotten from Michelle so far? So okay, so I think some questions that we have come in so far. Joanne say, how do I know which one I am? You may say, how to know if I'm a D or I or S? Yes, so definitely, you know, like stay tuned, because you know, as we go along, Melvin and Michelle will be sharing with us, you know, like where potentially we can do a test to find out a bit more about which one we are, you know. So I think that's really important. And I also was very interested to hear from Michelle about how, you know, like I think, you know, some of you have heard about love languages, and actually we also have talked about it here and there in all our previous webinars, right? And I think it's very interesting to hear that the different DISC profiles have also a way of expressing their love as well. And I think the challenge is sometimes that when, you know, like let's say I'm a D, you know, like, or I'm a I, and then like my husband is actually something else, you know, like okay, I will not review first, because later I want to hear what Melvin have to say, you know, like which DISC profile is a good match for the other DISC profile. Yeah, so we have Jess who say, this personality type seem to link to love language. Yeah, you're right. And Karen say, is there any recommended DISC test for us to try out? Yes, so definitely stay tuned, you know, like Melvin and Michelle will be sharing more. Has say, very intriguing. Yeah, and then Sunny say, which character has the highest chance of finding love? So I think like what Michelle have shared, right? Like there's no right or wrong, there's no like better or worse DISC profile. I think she has mentioned that, you know, everything, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and I think, you know, all characters have the chance of finding love, so don't worry about it. Then Jess brought up a very interesting point. I certainly think I have a split personality, work versus personal. That's interesting. Okay, like maybe you can let us know a bit more later, and then when it comes to Q&A, like maybe Melvin and Michelle can answer your question with regards to this. Okay, awesome. So thank you, Michelle, once again. And now we would like to pass the time over to Melvin, who will be sharing with us like how does our DISC personality actually affect the way we date, and how we can actually use DISC to our advantage and attract our date. I think like that's what all of you want to hear about, right? So who wants to know how we can use DISC to our advantage and attract our date, you know, like let us know. Okay, has say me, Joanne say me, Willie say me. Wow, glad they say me, you know, everybody's super excited. So over to you, Melvin.
Thank you very much. All right, I just want to do a quick answer to one of the questions to say that, hey, this sounds like 5 love languages. Actually, it's different, all right? The love language talks about what are people's preference with regards to how they receive love, right? DISC talks about how we do it. So for example, words of affirmation. To a D person, it can just be, good job, well done. To an I person will be, oh my gosh, you are so pretty, and that kind of thing. So it's very flowery. An S person will just use words of affirmation like, thank you. A C person will use words of affirmation by saying, this is what you do. Monday you do this, Tuesday you do this, Wednesday you do this, Thursday you do this, and how I feel about it. See, it's very, very different. All right. So DISC is a language that talks about how we understand behaviors. So it is interesting also because many of you I saw in the chat group, they're all saying that, oh, how do I know what style am I? Am I schizophrenic? No, at work I'm like that. At home I'm like that. No, you're not. They are all, because of DISC is a tool that is highly contextual, right? So because of different contexts that we're in, we behave differently. And it's normal. It's normal. All right. So I'm going to give you a trick to know how to read people now. All right. So this will be quite interesting for you. So when we talk about DISC, right? First things first, you need to ask yourself, all right? If you look at the screen, it's divided into 4 quadrants. The first things first, you need to ask yourself, is the person active or passive, or active and responsive versus task or people? So I'm going to give you an example of a dating scenario, and from there you'll know how to identify. If this person comes to a date, the first thing that the person will come to you and say, excuse me, are you Violet? You are my date, right? So what time is supposed to meet? 2 o'clock, is it? All right, now it's 2 o'clock. Shall we go for a date now? Is this person active or responsive? Definitely active, right? Is this person task-oriented or people-oriented? Task-oriented, D style. All right? If this person comes to a date and then says, oh my gosh, Violet, so pretty. I like your clothes. Talk a lot of things though. Before you can say, hi, my name is Violet, this person dominates the conversation for the next 15, 20 minutes. All right? Very active, people-oriented, I style. If this person comes to a date, we'll just sit there, smile you, will not even extend the hand to shake your hand, you know, we'll wait for you to extend a hand, then, oh, okay, hi, my name is Melvin, what's the name? You know, the kind of thing. And then when the person hears this kind of introduction, they'll just smile and, So this person is more responsive, passive, people-oriented, right? They will do things not to offend people, be very nice, very gentle about things. If this person comes to a date, all right, look at the way they dress, very prim and proper. All right, so wow, the shirt iron, you know, look very smart. If the date is at 2 o'clock, he'll be there by 1:30. Once he's there, he'll be seated at where he is and he will not move. He will check, okay, is the table all set up properly? Or what if she comes in? How will she come in? She'll plan everything properly. And then look, how come my table and the cup is at the fork is at 33 degrees off? How come that table, the fork is at 90 degrees? Something is not right, no standard. But we'll not say anything, no, we'll just smile. Then we'll look around. Hey, the date comes in already. Look at the date. They say, hey, date, how come you never iron the clothes? You know, oh, why the hair messy? But we'll just smile. I will not say anything. All right. So this person is responsive, but only focusing on tasks. Is a C style. All right. So now I've given you a trick to know how to read people. All right. Make a guess. What style do you think I am? All right. So just put in the chat. So just use this thing. So active, responsive, task, people. Make a guess. What style am I? Dun, dun, dun. Many say I'm high I because I talk very loud, is it? I don't like that lah. All right. Interesting. I am actually a very, very high D. I'm actually a pure D style. All right. So yeah. Joanne is like, what? Yes, I'm a pure D. And the funny thing about pure D people or D style people, they are highly adaptable. So they can be D, I, S, or C, provided their objectives are met, their own personal objectives are met. All right. So with regards to this, I just want to share with you also, you saw the 2 arrows in the diagram, right? These 2 arrows, I'm going to say as it is. Later we're going to have more conversation. Potential lines of conflict, meaning D and S may have a conflict, I and C may have a conflict. All right. So let me explain. I'm a high D. I'm actually a pure D. My wife is a very high S and C. So if you see my graph, right, my D is sky high, my wife's S and C is sky high. Opposites. All right. So when I was dating her, that time I was still being a very good boyfriend. As a boyfriend, I need to make sure I take care of all her needs and all those things, right? Correct or not? That's a typical thing lah. So what happened was, you know, every day there will come a time in the day you will always quarrel with people. Make a guess, what time is it? You'll always quarrel with people. Take a guess. So you just type inside. What time do you think people always quarrel each other? Why 6 p.m.? Late at night. Why? Interesting. Midnight? Of course, people are sleeping. Oh, nice. Tian Yi got it correct, man. It's actually meal times. Do you know why not? Every meal timer, you will always ask this question. What do you want to eat? Correct or not? And what's the normal answer? Come, give me all the model answer. When somebody asks you what do you want to eat, what will you say? Yeah, correct, Eddie. Yes, a lot of people say anything. So this was exactly what happened. I'm a high D person. I was dating her. Then I'll ask her, hey, girlfriend, what do you want to eat for lunch? So, being very nice gentleman, I must ask her or not. Then she say, anything, high S, don't want to tell me what she want to eat. Why? Because don't want to offend me, don't want to break relationship, very important, right? One-on-one relationship, very important. But to a high D person, instead of solving one problem, I need to solve two problems. What to eat and what is anything, right? So I'm like, oh, irritated. So what I do is I brought her to go and eat chicken rice because I love chicken rice. So I sat there, uncle, $10 chicken rice. Then chicken rice came, wow, I'm so happy I start eating. After I eat, I look up, I saw tears rolling down the cheeks. Wow, I thought chicken rice so nice, eat until cry. I was like, wow, really? So I eat some more. Hey, look up, keep crying, Then I asked her, girlfriend, why? Why are you crying? The chicken rice is very nice, is it? Then she said, no. Melvin, you are so insensitive. Why you never ask me? Why you never ask me? I want to eat more burger or not? Wow, that day the chicken almost came alive. I throw the chicken in the face, almost. But I didn't, good boyfriend, correct not? So this is what happened. A D person make decision very fast. S person don't want to make decision because they don't want to hurt people, correct not? Now, I and C, what is the conflict here? When I am resting, I'm an ID, all right? My I and D is very high. When she's resting, she's still an S and C, all right? So how does a D person rest? A D person rests by doing exciting things, challenging things, exercise, things like that, sports. S and C people, you know how they rest? They rest by doing this activity called vegetating. They are the people who watch TV, they'll just grow roots. They're not watching TV. They're kind of people, right? So one day she was telling me, Melvin, I'm very stressed. Can we take leave to go Sentosa? Of course, Sentosa got beach, got water, got USS, so many things to do, correct not? Of course, I said, let's go. So I brought her to Sentosa. So now I know I must always ask and give her time, correct not? So I asked her, hey, where do you want to go, Oh, then she also know, very nice. She say, I want to go to this beach, this particular location. So I went there, I put the mats out, and I'm all ready to go in the water. I turned around, guess what I saw? Wow, she just lie down on the mat sleep, and grow roots, But it's okay, I'm a good boyfriend. I learned already, I must give space, correct not? So I built sandcastle. What did I do? I built on the left leg. Wow, then she got so angry. She called my name, Melvin Chia. Guys, if you are here listening, when your name is called with your surname, you are dead, all right? And that's what I know. I'm like, shucks, I'm dead. Clear the sand. Sorry, ma'am, it won't happen again. I built sandcastle on her right leg. That's how I people rest. We irritate the person. Does that make sense to you? All right? So when they come together, I person has always this tendency to want to do things in a fun way. It's all about fun, all about energy, about enthusiasm. The C person is always about, hey, can we do it prim and proper or not? Don't do things that's too exciting. I'm not prepared. You must prepare me in advance. Make sure the SOPs are all right. That kind of thing. All right. So these two lines of conflict actually helps you to understand what are the natural, quote-unquote, clashes that DISC have, all right? I need to qualify. Does it mean that D and S person cannot come together? I and C person cannot come together? Not true. I'm married to my wife. My wife, S and C, correct not? Then what happens? Because of this powerful thing called love, right? I just keep quiet long. Yes, I help you. Hey, can work on, all right? Love is a very beautiful thing. The more you act upon it, more amazing things you'll get to see. All right. I can see there are many questions now, so I just want to address some questions first. D and C, are you self-conflicting? No, you're not. Then you are fine. It is normal. D and C person means that you are a very task-focused person. So somebody who's just focused on getting things done. A D and C drive everybody up the wall. C and D drive themselves up the wall. In a dating context, a DC person will go and tell the date or the partner, have you done A, B, C, D, E, F, G, Why have you not done A, B, C, D, E, F, G? All right. So a CD person will stress themselves a lot. Have I done A, B, C, D? All right. And they have potentially this perfectionistic streak lah. All right. So something about that. Okay. Before I continue, I just want to take some questions as of now. Are there any questions they have for me?
Yeah, I think we do have some questions here.
Right.
Okay, like on the potential lines of conflict, what about both D, DD, II, SS, CC? Oh, very good question here.
Interesting. Okay, so let's talk about these styles coming together, having conflict, right? When D and D fight, what happens? You have World War III. When I and I fight, what happens? All the neighbor will know what's the fight about because everybody talk, correct or not?
That's so funny.
S and S, when they fight, what happens? Nobody talks. Correct, very cool. C and C fight, they will write down, no, on Monday you did this, Tuesday you did this, Wednesday you said this, Thursday you said this, all the facts will come out, no, and they fight based on facts. All right. So the point here is this, it's not about how they fight lah. The thing is, how do I help them resolve it? D&D, when they want to fight, it's all coming back to objective. Do we have a shared objective? I and I, when they are fighting, the key is both want to be heard. Can I slow down and hear the person first? Then I say, S and S fight, what they're looking for? They are not looking at the fight. They're asking about, do you love me or not? You love me? Can we sit down and talk it through? They are the people who needs closure. All right. C and C fight, when they are fighting, make sure you are ready with facts. Don't just say, I think. Then they'll reply, you think, I thought, who confirmed? And then the fight escalates. Got it? All right. Okay. Percentage. Somebody was asking about percentage. So based on our research, what we found out is this. Make a guess. I mean, just now, Violet did a test where you're saying that what style is the highest? All right. It is correct. S style is highest at 69%. Dun, dun, dun. Guess which one is the lowest? What? C. Yeah, D is the lowest. D at 3%, I at 11%, C at 17%. So the tip here is this. When we are engaging in a date, it is always very safe to assume that your partner is a S and C style because that's a majority. So what do you need to prepare when you go for a date, knowing that they are S and C? You need to make sure that they are aware of what's to come. Don't give them surprises. They don't like it. So you have to go there and say, hey, Violet, we're going on a date today. Today we're going to do this thing, okay? We're going to do A, B, C. This is the menu for tonight. What do you think you want to eat? So you really make sure that they are comfortable and you don't throw surprises. Can you throw surprises? Can, not too often. Okay, so when we prepare ourselves like that, yeah, it's okay. Then you'll definitely have a good impression. Gain a good impression. All right. Then how then do we actually garner more attention from each other? All right. So basically, this is what happens when you are dating a person of a particular style. You need to know what they are looking out for. If your partner is a D person, what they are looking out for is, hey, please be bold and direct with me. Be very, very clear. I don't like things to be hidden or you know, or to be like, I just want to be very nice. Therefore, I don't want to say, I drop hints. Wow, these people cannot take it. If you don't like me, say you don't like me. It's fine, all right? So because of their objective nature, right? Even if it's a negative comment, they can take it objectively. Yeah, lor, it's just for this situation. I'm fine with it. I person, what are they looking out for? They are looking out for public praise. So if you know your partner is an I person, praise them. The best part is it's never enough one. So I'll give you an example, okay? This one we saw in children, very interesting one. I have a high I kid who come back one day, no, Papa, I did my math test, I got 70%. Very good, right? The next test, Papa, I got 71%. I want to declare national holiday. Wow, this kind of no. So they want the whole world to know that, hey, I did well, right? So when you're dealing with a high I person, recognize public praise is important. Doing new things is important. I ask people, what do they want? They're looking for private affirmation. You cannot tell the whole world, wow, very good. They are very paiseh, they don't want. So they'll just tell me alone, I'm fine. Don't declare out loud. So some of us like to put on our social media, I'm going out with this person and declare to the whole world. Wow, the S person they found, wow, they will recall it back, they will just go back to their shell. Then you realize it's very hard to get them back, you know. C person, what they're looking out for? They are looking for things to be right. Do things right is important. Okay? All right. So this is what garners attention. One of the things that actually take away attention is one, a D person, if you find that you are indecisive, they will struggle with it. All right. I person, if you reduce their talk time, definitely no. All right. So this is something that they are very uncomfortable about. S style, if you are too overbearing, too dominant, it pushes the person away. A C style, if you are engaging in very shallow conversations, they don't like that also. All right. So they like people of substance, go deep. Okay. So yeah. Are there any other questions? So far, so good. Okay. All right. Questions? Okay, if not, then Violet, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Melvin, for that. You are like super funny. I think like our audience have been very tickled. Everybody like keep putting like smiling face, laughing face, yeah. And then we have Joanne who say, yeah, it's super interesting. Yeah, Debbie say I have a question. Yes, Debbie, just type in a question in the chat, and then like we'll get Melvin to answer it for you. Yep. So okay, I'll review it right now. Okay, because I've been like keep like trying to say that I'm not going to tell you what Jamie's profile is. So Jamie is my husband. So I'm high D, high I, and Jamie is high D and high C. so I think the interesting part of it is that yes, like when we do fight, it can be like World War III. Yeah, I think Christina can attest to that, because we work together as well. So sometimes I think our team members are kind of like, okay, you all go fight it out, okay? Like when you all are done, let us know. But at the same time, I think we do complement each other very well, in the sense that because he doesn't like to be doing like webinars, so for example, those of you guys who have been to our webinar, I think you have only seen him once, okay, because he say like once in 5 years enough already, so probably in 5 years time like you see him again. But I mean, for me, like I enjoy like talking to you guys, like every week, and he's definitely very I would say detailed oriented. So like for example, like when it comes to strategy, it comes to finance, it comes to product development, he's the best guy for it. Yep. So we have some questions here. Debbie say, how to patch back with S-type person since I'm a C-type person? Yes. So Marvin, what do you think?
If you are a C person, you must understand an S person wants this thing. They are looking for sincerity. All right. So if you really want to, you know you did something wrong, they are really looking for sincerity. But also be very mindful that their tolerance level can potentially be either very, very big or very, very small, in the sense that if you hurt me once, I will not want to do anything to you anymore. So it really depends. The key to dealing with a high S person is you need to sow more. You need to sow in a lot more so that person feel very loved. And therefore you can get away with things. No, I'm joking. So that's what they're looking out for. All right. So before you apologize, sow more before you apologize.
Nice. And then we have Yongsen who say, after I hear Melvin talk about this topic, I now know that I'm a C type. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and I think like what Melvin has shared just now, right? It's also very good to like look out for some of the things that he have shared. So once you get onto the date, then you can look out for the things. Okay, could this person be a D? Could this person be an I? Could this person be an S? Could this person be a C? And then after that, you can talk in the language that they understand. And I think Michelle talked about this as well. DISC is kind of like a hidden language, right? Like once you understand which type they are, then you can also go the way lah. So the person is a C, then obviously like you also want to go a bit more into detail because that that's what they like as well. And I agree, like being a high D, like I'm like, oh my goodness, I cannot stand people who cannot make up their minds. so it's like if I date a guy who like everything also say anything lah, you like lah, you decide lah, I cannot take it. I'll just be like, oh my goodness. Okay, so we have another question here from Joanne. How do I know if my interested target is which type? And also if he get hurt, how does each various type heal or feel love? Yeah, Melvin, what do you think?
All right, so the easiest way, get them profiled. So that'd be the easiest. If not, you can really pick up verbal cues from the words that they say. So if they say things like, it's always about, okay, has this been done? What's our objective? Why are we doing this? That's a very deep conversation. If this person talks about anything under the sun, all right, often very animated and high energy, high I. If this person is often very quiet, very passive, will not initiate things, they'll take their own time. When you ask them questions, they'll reply you in 2 million years time, you know the kind? So that's an S style. So they are the kind of people when you message them, they won't reply you immediately. They'll be questioning, do you like me or not? Why don't you just tell me? They just want to tell you. A C person, when they are the verbal cues that they'll be giving will be a lot of facts. They will require a lot of facts, a lot of details from you, right? What is it? Why is it important? How do you want me to do it? So these are verbal cues. Second, look at their clothing, their dressing. A high D's dressing is purely functional. Look nice is not important, it's just clothes. I person, the way they dress is very bright, very colorful. All right, it's out to draw attention. It's like a peacock. S style, dress very conservatively. All right. C style, the way they dress is very prim and proper. So these are some cues they can get to identify. Then Joel was saying that if they are hurt, how do they, okay, I won't say they are hurt, how do they feel love more? A D person feel love more when they are supported with their on the decisions that they have made. Right? They feel very loved if you support their decision. I person feel love when you just tell them, oh, I love you so much. Then they'll feel very loved. An S style person feel love by just putting your hand on the shoulder and don't say anything. Or just sitting there and drink coffee with the person. Don't say anything. Then they will say, 我明白你的心, I understand your heart. They are the kind of people, all right? C style people, how do they feel love? They feel love when you honor your word. Okay?
Nice. Thank you so much, Melvin. Yeah. Okay, so thank you guys for all your questions. However, time does fly when we are having fun, you know, especially tonight we have Michelle and Melvin in the room, and I think we all have learned so much, right? So do you guys agree? Let us know, you know, what you have learned tonight. What is your biggest takeaway tonight? And of course, you know, like while you share with us that, we also want to invite Melvin to share with us a bit more about, you know, what his company does. And we are so happy that he has also prepared a very special offer for our webinar participants tonight. So I think a lot of you have been asking, like, oh, how do I know which one am I? You know, like, am I a D? Am I an I? Am I an S or a C? Yes, so I believe, you know, Melvin, you have something special for our webinar participants tonight for them to find out a bit more about who they are.
Yes, I do. All right, so at the end of the day, Bryden is a company that actually deals with helping people to understand more of themselves, not just organizations, but individuals as well. So we have been around, been profiling more than 200,000 people over eight countries and more. So these are some things that we do, our bread and butter per se. But we realize that this is something that the people need it outside of work. All right. So therefore things like in this example, like dating, like for example, with their families. So how do we use this to help them out? So these are some of the things that we do as an organization. And yeah. So we have also worked with people from like Hilton. Oh, this is very exciting. So like for example, Hilton, right? We actually work with them in the Asia Pacific region. Every property in Asia Pacific, we actually went there to go and talk to them, all these things. So, and there was one question about cultural differences. So we do realize that different culture has a different emphasis on different styles. Like for example, C style, Singapore, the C percentages may potentially be higher. Malaysia, the I and S style percentages may be higher. All right, Indonesia as well. So these kind of things do matter, and that's what we saw as well. So to end off, I just want to share with you that with this opportunity with Lunch Actually, so we just want to offer this thing to all of you, that if you want to have your profiles taken, right? So we are actually offering something very, very special for you, that each individual profile, if you want to do it, it will be at $28. So and if you are coming in as a couple, so it'll be $50 for two reports. And the best part is this: as a couple, then what we'll do is we'll have a one-on-one with you to unpack the report. At the end of the day, what was very interesting about having reports is you need to make sense of it. Some of us read the report and then we got the wrong message, and therefore say that we are always like this, which is very wrong. DISC explains us, it doesn't excuse us. So it's not used to box us up. It's never the intent, but it allows us to know why we do certain things and how we do certain things. So this is something that with in our partnership with Lunch Actually, we want to offer to all of you. So in Malaysia, how much is it? Yeah, I also don't know how to tell you that. This is in Sing dollars. So right. So yeah, for those of us who are interested in getting certified, becoming a DISC practitioner, so we are having our certification program, and we are offering this SG United grant to all of you. That actually allows you to really get very heavily subsidized rates for this certification. So if you're keen, you can actually go into the URL or the QR code, scan and enter the details so that we know how do we proceed from there with regards to the application. Then from there we will link up with you and then we dialogue with you more. All right. Okay, so pass the time back to Violet. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Melvin. So yes, definitely, I think a lot of you have been asking about how to find out a bit more about which DISC profile you are. And I thank, like Melvin and Michelle for joining us tonight, for sharing with us, and also offering this very, very special, I think, promotion, for all our webinar participants tonight. And at the same time, we also, as always, we always have a gift for you guys. And I think tonight's gift is very similar to, what has been shared, and also a very, I would say, connected to what some of you have been talking about as well. So tonight we're actually going to give out an ebook on the 5 love languages. So I think, this is going to be a great complement to what you have just learned tonight from Melvin and Michelle. So if you're interested to claim your free webinar gift, you can also just go to the link that Chris has just put up on the chat box. So I don't want to take up too much of Melvin's and Michelle's time. I just want to say thank you so much, guys, for joining us tonight. I think our participants, our community has learned so much from both of you. I think a lot of them have never heard about DISC, and I think tonight you gave a fantastic introduction and a lot of great tips on what they can do when they go out on their dates, and what to say to which type of profile. So once again, thanks Melvin, thanks Michelle for joining us. Have a good night. I don't want to take you away too much time from your family. So again, 中秋节快乐, happy Mid-Autumn Festival, and I look forward to catching up with both of you soon. Okay, thank you. Good night.